Hi folks, if you just need one video to convince you that you should get the Shoei Glamster, watch this. Yes, I bought the Glamster, I sold it, and I bought it again. Here's why. Now, before we jump into why this is such a solid helmet, I guess it helps to give a bit of background for context in terms of why I bought it and sold it. So this was back in Singapore when I first passed my 2B exam. Shout out to folks in Singapore. Yes, so I ordered the Glamster, but here's the thing, right? It took 6 months of waiting time, and obviously I needed a helmet to start riding immediately. That's where I actually got this guy, another handsome helmet, the Built Well Bonanza. This is a bubble visor from 72 Jam from Japan. It pairs well with the Built Well Bonanza, as you can see. Yes, obviously this is an open face helmet, and the reason why I chose an open face at that time was because I knew that I had already ordered this and I was waiting for the Shoei to arrive, and I didn't want to have like two full face helmets, so I got the Built Well Bonanza. Long story short, when the Glamster arrived, the reason why I sold it was because I was actually migrating to Japan, so I put this up for sale. I brought this one with me, knowing that in Japan I would actually have a high chance of getting my hands on another Shoei helmet, which is obviously made and sold in Japan. So that said, obviously I could have gotten a totally different helmet. I did some shopping. I went to the stores to try on some different brands. I did my research both online and in store, and the clear winner was still the Glamster. That's where we are today. So first of all, let's talk about the price. In Singapore, I paid $567 for this, the exact same model, size M, matte black. In Japan, I picked this up at a retail store for 53,900 yen. It's the same price across, if you get it online directly from Shoei through their website, or other popular websites such as WeBike, or if you actually walk in store into somewhere like Cycle World. This is where I got mine. So 53,900 yen, that's about $480 Singapore dollars. And when I was making payment at the cashier, I tried my luck. I asked the lady, like, do you actually have an app or a membership? And true enough, they have one, and it came with a 5% discount for new members on their first purchase. So after 5% discount, that brings us to about 51,205 yen, which is approximately 457 Singapore dollars. More than $100 lesser than the price in Singapore. The first reason why I actually got the Shoei Glamster again in the exact same color, matte black, is the look. The most important thing is how it makes you feel, right? So when I look at this, it makes me feel city pop. It makes me feel Macross. It makes me feel Akira. It makes me feel Cafe Racer. So I associate this with a lot of nostalgia, a lot of good things out of the 80s and 90s. Obviously things that I really appreciate growing up. What I love most about it is that it's actually it has this very understated style. It's not showy, no pun intended. It's showy, but it's not showy. For example, you have the logo here. It's very subtle, unlike some brands, it's really in your face, like shouting across the helmet. But if you look at the Shoei Glamster, you can tell that it's very simple, it's very minimalistic. There is almost nothing on it that doesn't need to be there. All the details are really premium. The finishing is amazing. If you have your chance to get your hands on them, to just kind of feel them, just carry it and see how it feels, I highly recommend doing that. What more when it's on your head, but just carrying this alone gives you a solid idea of how well this is actually built and engineered and designed. I can't give enough praise to the Shoei Glamster when it comes to the look. I think what you're getting is a lot of vintage aesthetics with the latest in tech for safety. So I won't go into all the features when it comes to safety, but obviously if you're doing your homework, you'd know that Shoei and Arai are the leaders in safety in Japan and maybe even in the world, I would dare say. What I also love a lot about this when it comes to the design related to safety is the large aperture here, which gives me a lot of visibility when I'm riding. I really love that. Okay, the second point that makes this helmet such an amazing choice is the comfort. And obviously the comfort is attributed by the fit and the weight of the helmet. As you can see, it's not that big. Especially if you're Asian, you would appreciate something like this because it's not gonna make you look like a walking matchstick. I think naturally it has a better fit also because it's engineered and made in Japan. The cheek pads are also very comfy, super comfortable. It really hugs your face. I think you've heard it before from other Shoei users as well, and not just from the Glamster, but across the Shoei line. It's really known to have good finishing and good quality on the cheek pads. It's really plush, it's really soft. You really, relish the way the foam touches your skin when you put it on. Plus, it only weighs in at about 1.2 to 1.3 kg, which is super light for a full face helmet. Again, I think any Shoei user would actually attest to how comfortable Shoei helmets fit. Moving on to the next point, it's the ventilation system. You have air intake on the top. You also have the grills on the chin bar here. It keeps you cool enough for summer. I've worn this in Singapore for about 2 years, and you know how the Singapore weather is. You have 4 seasons there: hot, hottest, and of course rain. One moment is sunny and then you get a free shower on the way to work. This has kept me dry in countless downpours. Needless to say, everything else is wet. But yeah, you can always count on the Shoei Glamster to keep you cool and to keep you dry. And when it's too hot, what I usually do is just pop the visor up like this. You pair it with your favorite pair of shades. No issues. You get a lot of wind that way. It's a really good helmet in all sort of weather conditions. There are a lot of other videos on the Shoei Glamster on YouTube, but if you're just looking for that one extra video to help you make that decision and pull the trigger, I hope this is it. If you do eventually get yourself a Shoei Glamster, I'm really happy for you. This is just my honest review on the helmet from my experience owning this for 2 years in Singapore, selling it and then buying it again. I think that's testament to how good this helmet is in my opinion, based on my research and comparison with the other helmets and other options out there in the market. If I ever lose this helmet for some reason, would I buy it again? In a heartbeat, yes. If I only had one choice of a helmet for the rest of my life, would it be this? Yes. So if you get it, I'm pretty confident that you would also love this as much as I do, just based on the quality, the looks, the fit, the comfort, the premiumness of the finishing. The Shoei Glamster, it's a really solid choice. You won't go wrong with it. Remember to hit the like button. I really appreciate that. Obviously this is not sponsored by any chance, so your support with the likes and if you subscribe for future content as well, I really appreciate that. Obviously there'll be more bike stuff in the future. I'm collecting my new bike, the Husqvarna Svartpilen 401 next month, so look forward to more content and perhaps maybe even content on life in Japan, who knows. Subscribe and stay tuned. Thanks for watching folks, and most important of all guys, ride safe. Take care. you.